The 2026 FIFA World Cup moved to Toronto tonight for a Group B clash that carried the weight of national expectation. As Canada took the pitch against Bosnia and Herzegovina, the atmosphere inside the Toronto stadium was nothing short of electric. This was the third match of the tournament, and for the hosts, it represented a golden opportunity to secure their first ever victory on the grandest stage of world football. The stands were a sea of red, the collective roar of a nation fueling the players as they looked to leave their mark on a tournament they are co-hosting. With the absence of Captain Alphonso Davies, who watched from the bench nursing a hamstring injury, the pressure was firmly on the shoulders of stars like Jonathan David and Liam Millar to deliver a performance that would validate Canada's ambition. The opening exchanges were defined by high-octane energy. Jesse Marsch, known for his relentless pressing style, clearly instructed his side to pin the Bosnians back early. Canada looked hungry, moving the ball with purpose and utilizing the pace of their wingers to stretch the Bosnian defense. Liam Millar, in particular, was a constant nuisance down the right flank, his direct running causing early headaches for the Bosnian fullbacks. The crowd responded to every tackle and every forward surge, their voices creating a wall of sound that seemed to push the Canadians deeper into Bosnian territory. Yet, for all their territorial dominance, Canada lacked the composure to unlock the final door. Bosnia and Herzegovina, however, had come prepared with a game plan built on resilience and tactical discipline. They operated with a compact 4-4-2, content to absorb the Canadian pressure and wait for the moments when the hosts lost their defensive shape. They were physically imposing, winning the aerial battles in the midfield and ensuring that every Canadian cross was met by a determined Bosnian head or chest. It was a classic underdog performance in the making, as they absorbed the storm, waiting for the one set piece or counter-attacking opportunity that would silence the home crowd. That opportunity arrived in the 21st minute, and it was a moment of pure tactical execution from the visitors. Bosnia won a corner kick, a chance that seemed routine but quickly became the defining moment of the half. Sead Kolasinac, using his vast experience, timed his run perfectly to reach the ball at the near post. With a delicate, calculated flick, he redirected the ball into the heart of the Canadian 6-yard box. Jovo Lukic, demonstrating the predatory instincts of a top-class finisher, was perfectly positioned to meet the delivery. He steered his header home from just 2 yards out, sending the ball into the back of the net before the Canadian goalkeeper could even react. The impact was instantaneous. The stadium, previously pulsating with a deafening Canadian roar, plummeted into a stunned, collective silence. For the Bosnian diaspora in the stands, it was a moment of euphoria as their side took a shock 1-0 lead. For the Canadian players, it was a brutal reminder of the unforgiving nature of World Cup football. The goal was a direct result of a momentary defensive lapse, a failure to track a runner at a crucial set piece, and the psychological weight of the situation was immediately visible. Canada had dominated the play for 20 minutes, only to find themselves trailing against the run of play. The remainder of the half saw Canada struggle to regain their rhythm. The early confidence that had defined their play vanished, replaced by an understandable urgency. Players began to force passes, their touches becoming heavier as the frustration of the deficit began to take hold. Bosnia, sensing their opponent's uncertainty, grew increasingly confident. They became more methodical in their build-up play, slowing the tempo and forcing Canada to chase the game. The physicality of the match escalated, with Alistair Johnston picking up a yellow card for a sliding challenge, reflecting the growing desperation in the Canadian ranks. Despite the struggle, Canada did manage to claw back some momentum before the halftime whistle. Jonathan David found space on the edge of the box and unleashed a strike that forced a top-tier save from the Bosnian keeper, Vasilj. It was the best chance of the half for the hosts, a moment where the quality of their star striker nearly balanced the scales. The rebound, however, was scrambled away, and the resulting corners were dealt with ease by a Bosnian defense that looked immovable in the air. As the halftime whistle echoed through the Toronto stadium, the statistics painted a picture of a game that had been dominated by Canada in possession, but led by Bosnia in efficiency. Canada had controlled the ball, pushed the tempo, and created half chances, but they lacked the clinical edge required to bypass a resolute Bosnian backline. Bosnia, conversely, had achieved exactly what they set out to do: remain disciplined, absorb the pressure, and punish the hosts when the opportunity arose. The players headed to the dressing rooms with the scoreline firmly in favor of the visitors, leaving the fans to wonder if this would be another historic heartbreaker for a Canadian team that has yet to win a match on the world's biggest stage. The second half now promises to be a test of character, a battle between the clinical, disciplined approach of Bosnia, and the desperate, high-energy push of a host nation fighting for its tournament life.